Hi everyone and welcome back to my Consultant Explorer channel. I'm Charlie and I'm here to help you explore the early career years of management consulting, help you to be successful at it and show you how to make the most of the opportunities that it can open up for you. I spent 8.5 years at Accenture building the most incredible launchpad for my own career, and now that I'm starting and running my own businesses, I get to choose what I work on whenever and wherever I want to in the world. And that is the kind of freedom that I can help you find in your journey, which starts just like mine did in management consulting. So today we're going to talk about one of the questions that I get asked the most, and that is, what is it that all of the most successful consultants have in common? And it's an important question because if you haven't joined consulting yet, then knowing the answer is going to help you determine whether it's the right career for you. And if you have already joined consulting, then knowing the answer is going to help you be more successful in your career. The answer I'm going to give you today is based on my personal experience at the different consultancies that I've worked at, but I expect that this answer would hold true across all of the other consultancies too, based on the various anecdotes I've heard from friends over the years. My answer splits in two. In the first part, I will talk about all of the characteristics that successful people of any career level have. And in the second part, I will talk about the characteristics that successful people at specific career levels generally have. So here goes. Let's start with the characteristics that successful people of any career level have. Firstly, dedication. And I actually think this is true of every career out there. But all the people that I saw be successful as consultants were the ones that showed real dedication to their work. And generally the dedication that they showed was actually out of passion and not out of necessity. In consulting, there are definitely times where everyone has to just knuckle down at the expensive things like personal commitments or sleep or exercise. But in this instance, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the times where people just chose to spend more time on work because they just wanted to. And this is great because the more passionate you are about what you're doing, the less it feels like work. These dedicated people were so invested that they do things like think of new work ideas over the weekend whilst just chatting to friends. Or they'd be motivated to go and teach themselves a new skill, not just because it would make them valuable in their job, but because they were genuinely just interested. They'd be so on point with everything all the time because their head was just in it, because it wanted to be. It's quite a nice thought, really, that enjoying your job so much can mean that you can be really good at it, because that was absolutely the case with these people. The next characteristic is one of the most important, the ability to form close allegiances. At every career level, there are always going to be people who are important to your success and your progression, both in the short term and the long term. The most successful consultants generally, if not always, have a support network of people who are helping to push or pull them upwards with coaching, with opportunities, and with promotions. Around every successful consultant, there is a tribe of people who are ensuring that they're always in a great project role and that they have the right internal responsibility within the firm, both building a career story for promotion and also increasing general awareness and visibility of their value and their skill set. I imagine this could be true in many industries, but it's particularly important in consulting because you change roles and move teams so often that your development and your progress could just get lost within this continuous stream of new colleague faces. Now, having this tribe of people is not something that you can ask for or even engineer. It will only come after you've proven yourself to be brilliant at your job, and it will be the people that are above you and beside you who stand to benefit from your skills that will become your tribe. Next is the ability to articulate what you're thinking in a way that others really understand, to the extent that they start to believe. Some people are just born with a natural ability to influence people with their words. We've all heard the phrase gift of the gab. And others have to work on it, and absolutely can work on it, because it doesn't come so naturally. You may have heard of the phrase storytelling in a professional context, and if you'd like to know more about that, I'll do a video on that soon. So whether it comes naturally to you or not, in consulting, it's important to be able to speak in such a way that your thoughts land with people exactly as you want them to. Consulting at the end of the day is a people business. People are the product, people are the customer, and people are who you spend your everyday with. In a junior role, you need your seniors to believe you when you tell them what you think, what you've learned, or what help you need. In a mid-level role, you need your juniors to do what you tell them to do, and you need your seniors to believe that you've got everything in hand. And as a consulting leader, you need to be able to make your case to drive any initiative within the business that you want to, as well as helping your clients to see that you and your team have the answers to their problems. Okay, whilst we're on the subject of clients, the next characteristic is strong client approval. You can put this one this way. If clients won't pay for your time, then you won't last a minute in a client-facing project role. On the other hand, there are some consultants that clients literally won't let go of because they believe they need them that much. Strong client approval in a business that sells people's time is clearly a key driver of success for consultants. Okay, next, finesse. I like that word. I'm not sure that I saw a successful person in my whole time in consulting that didn't have an air of finesse about them. At the junior level, finesse generally means high quality output, so deliverables that dot all the I's, cross all the T's, that leave no stone unturned, and that also are beautifully presented. At the mid-career level, finesse is all about having things unwaveringly under control. A manager who has finesse continuously is able to shield senior management from issues because they're just handling them with mitigations. And they're also providing the relevant progress updates to senior management as they go. You can sense that at both the mid and junior career levels, someone who has finesse is also someone that can be highly trusted. At the senior levels, finesse is all about inspirational presentations. And that doesn't have to mean PowerPoint slides, it can just be spoken words. But a leader who is able to maintain attentive ears in their audience, whether it's clients or consultants or both, and inspire them with what they know and how they see things, has finesse and will be successful. The penultimate characteristic in this part is knowing how the firm works. It's said in many jobs that you have to play the game to do well, and that's definitely true in consulting. Knowing the mechanics of your firm means that you're able to ensure that you're in the right place at the right time, saying the right things, to be given opportunities and to be recognised for your performance. I find this one quite interesting personally because I don't really like the concept of playing the game, and in particular the aspect that proposes that you do something just because that's what everyone does. But the thing that got me through it was realising that I could find my own reason to run with each rule of the game. So for example, one rule of the game might be put some time in with somebody who is going to be important in deciding your promotion prospects in the upcoming promotion rounds, just so that you can tell them about everything that you've been doing in advance. Cringe. Perhaps my stance in that instance might be put time in with someone like that to ask them about what they've been up to, because that's genuinely more interesting to talk about. And then over the course of that conversation, perhaps it will just come up naturally what you've been doing too. Okay, one more characteristic that successful consultants have at every level. Personification of the firm's values and expectations. This is a lot about your soft skills, the way that you conduct yourself, the way that you speak to people, the way that you behave in a client's office. There's a base level of personal and professional conduct that just goes without saying for successful consultants. I did see one or two exceptions to this rule that did make it to senior levels, but I also saw those people ultimately leave the business, which is unusual at that level of seniority. Okay, time for part 2 now, where I'll cover the characteristics that people at specific career levels had, and I'll start with the junior levels. The most successful junior consultants that I saw were always diligent, attentive to detail, and reliable. Junior consultants usually don't have expertise or knowledge of consulting methodologies that would enable them to own something independently and work on it. So instead, much of the time, you're supporting your colleagues in creating the output that they need to create. You have more time than they do because they're spending their time meeting clients or running workshops or coaching juniors. So it's great if you can spend your time producing the output on their behalf. Therefore, if you produce output that is high quality, you become an important and valuable resource. Your manager will want you to continue to work for them because you're a genuine help. This means you'll get more consistent experience with them, honing specific skills. And your longer-term professional network will start to form. They will speak highly of you to others, and they'll bring you into their working network, which means that you'll get future roles from that network, and you'll have support in performance management forums. In a nutshell, being a diligent, reliable helping hand is what takes care of your success as a junior consultant. At the mid-levels, it's different. The most successful mid-level consultants are brilliant at navigating a position in which they are responsible for directing the work activities of juniors, whilst at the same time managing upwards communications to their seniors. This means that they're able to empathise with where everyone is coming from and what they need. They're able to translate what can sometimes feel like very vague asks from seniors into very prescriptive details for juniors, and vice versa. But not just that. At this mid-level, the most successful consultants always had an expertise in something valuable. And that could be something as broad as project delivery, or it could be something as specific as B2B sales processes, for example. And they were always adept at finding the experts and the information that they needed because they knew how to navigate the firm. Okay, last but not least, the senior levels. And not everyone can make it to senior levels in consulting because the characteristics you have to have are demanding. Across all of the successful leaders that I saw in consulting, they had the following things in common: character, authenticity, personal value proposition and thought leadership, an ability to inspire others, and an ability to gel large teams together and galvanize high performance. These characteristics require an element of personal self-awareness and confidence, an element of consulting expertise, and an element not just of people management, but of people motivation and inspiration. The ability to determine the best direction to take your team in, and then to excite them all about what you want them to do, and then to help them all work together to be successful, is quite a set of skills. And I've seen senior leaders in consulting do this very well. So hopefully that's given you a sense of the kinds of things that you have to have and do to be in the top tier of the most successful consultants, from the most junior levels all the way to the top. And the good news is that these are all things that you can do by choice with practice. The even better news is that the earlier that you know that you need to do these things, the more time that you have to practice them ahead of your peers. And especially at the junior and mid levels, you have every opportunity to do them really well. So hopefully that's been insightful for you, and if it has, then let me know by clicking the like button. And if you'd like to see what I post next, then definitely subscribe to my channel. If you would like social media updates, then the links are below, and if you have any questions or comments, then please feel free to use the comments box below, and I will do my best to answer absolutely everything. In the meantime, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great day, and I wish you all the best with your exploring.